Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Anxiety Guy on this excellent YouTube channel. I get a lot of this question. People going, Dennis, I have hopeless thinking. Dennis, I have depression. I constantly struggle with my thoughts and my beliefs. And I constantly struggle with the way I view the world. And I just actually had a one-on-one with someone who was struggling through the same sort of problems, and I truly felt for this person because I know what it feels like. I know the pain, I know the limited thinking that it can give you, and it keeps you in a bubble of just negativity and pessimism. So I really wanted to tackle this issue today, guys, and got my lemon water today. No coffee, no tea. Incredible. Dennis doesn't have tea or coffee. And we're going to get into the first one, the first idea that's going to help us to overcome hopeless thinking and eventually overcome our depression naturally. Now, the idea is to base your thinking on fact. So a lot of times when we go through this hopeless thinking cycle, we don't recognize that one key to ending the cycle is to recognize that you could actually be wrong, right? And a lot of times we get feelings, we get thoughts that are triggered through our experiences, and we build up this belief system, and all we see is that feared belief system, and we see nothing else. And a lot of times we must recognize that in fact our feelings are not facts, our thoughts are not facts. Our unconscious mind is trying to keep us safe or happy, but if it had to choose, it will always try to keep us safe and keep moving towards what's familiar. So it's really important that you understand that a thought is just a thought. A belief can in fact be replaced with a new empowering belief, and a lot of times we need to base our thinking on fact. I'm hopeless, I'll never achieve what I want to achieve. You know, that's complete bullshit, because a lot of times we don't recognize our own skills and abilities due to this hopeless thinking cycle. So number one, guys, give yourself some room, give yourself some space, and understand that your thinking should be based around facts, not just one or two experiences that have happened to you in the past. So take a really good look. Number two is you have to give yourself a chance to see. And it's important to look and give consideration to basically all evidence out there. And this goes hand in hand with number one. And it's important to take into consideration all the possibilities, not just one possibility. Everything is just one way. And hopeless thinking and depression can truly manifest in a person because they feel a sense of closed-mindedness. They feel a sense of dread because their options are so limited. And when you give yourself these limited options, a lot of times it can manifest into, severe depression. A lot of people go through life basically thinking the worst, thinking that things are hopeless, thinking that things are just always going to be the way they are. But the truth is that your past does not equal your future. Your past does not represent what's going to be coming up in the future. A lot of times we need to see this. We need to really understand this concept, this idea that our past doesn't in fact equal our future. And when we start to do this, we start to go through life with more faith, and we start to become more open-minded, and we start to see the possibilities in things rather than the hopelessness in all of those things. The third way to overcome hopeless thinking, guys, is to actually overcome what's called cognitive emotive dissonance. And cognitive emotive dissonance is kind of this feeling you get in your stomach or your gut, where when you get a belief from somebody or when you get this new information, it just simply doesn't feel right. And because it doesn't feel right, a lot of times what do we tend to do? We tend to go, no, that's not right. It's not in line with my current beliefs. It's not in line with my identity, the person that I think I am. And this strange feeling makes it seem like the new information is just always wrong. The new information, when we get this new information, or when we start a certain program, or when we begin to dive deep into, life coaching with someone, whatever it may be, a lot of times we don't really take into consideration that new information we're getting because it's not in line. It's not in line with what my unconscious core beliefs are telling me. And a lot of times we tend to tackle our problems consciously, and a lot of times we don't recognize the unconscious, deep down core belief that is truly, pointing the signals as to why things are going wrong in your life, why things are not improving, why you're continuously living in a life of depression. So cognitive emotive dissonance, guys, that feeling in your gut when you feel like the information is wrong and therefore negatively viewing it or pushing it aside or putting up your walls, the best way to go about that is the next one. And number 4 is basically practicing your new belief. And when I did a one-on-one just a couple of minutes ago with someone online, this person had so much potential. I mean, you could just see that this person deep down wanted her true identity to come out, right? And a lot of times there's these walls, these firewalls that are preventing that person to come out because we don't allow ourselves to feel good. A lot of times our new identity or the identity we truly want pokes its head out, and your unconscious mind goes, no, that's not what we want. We want stuff that's familiar. We want to stay safe. We don't want to actually step out of our comfort zone. We want to stay in this bubble where it's safe and nothing will go wrong, nothing will go right, and just continue to live in a constant pattern of fear and worry. But when you start to practice this new belief, when you start to write it down, when you start to read it daily, you're starting to really go into a new direction. Your life starts to move towards a new path. And you're starting to overcome some of those core beliefs. You're starting to replace them. But guys, nothing happens until you start to look at these new belief systems as a way of practicing. A lot of times, and I'll give you another example. When I had panic attacks, panic attacks, when I say the word, it's almost like it doesn't give it the power that I was truly feeling in the moment. It was like panic attacks. No, honestly, I would call them life-threatening moments of just doom and gloom and just the worst possible stuff. Of course, they weren't. Panic attack is never life-threatening, but it felt like that. But for me to overcome my panic attacks, I needed to practice my new belief in the situations that were causing me fear or causing me to panic, right? And when I started to recognize, wow, when I go to the grocery store and when I feel anxiety when I'm in line and when I start to feel these panicky situations, I can view this differently. I don't have to run from it. I don't have to fight back. I don't have to try to get rid of it. What I can do is through the evidence that I have built up around me, I can start to take that evidence and go, this is related to anxiety, this is related to panic, and therefore this situation is an opportunity to practice my new belief. Practice the new belief that I've been writing down in my journal and I've been trying to put into action in my own life. This is a time to practice. It's not a time to run. And when I did that, I was starting to go, you know what? Wow, I can't wait for the next panic attack. I mean, as ridiculous as that sounds, I was almost wanting a panic attack to happen so that I could practice this new approach that I had. So it's important that you continue to practice your new belief, guys. And the last one is that the idea of trying. And when I do these one-on-ones with people, a lot of people go, Dennis, I've tried it all. I've tried it. And trying is basically a proven method for failure. It really is. Trying is a proven method for failure. You can try something or you can do something. When you start to listen to yourself and you go, I'm going to try my best to stop my anxiety today. Or you could say, I'm going to use the tools that I've learned to put into practice some of the methods, the new methods I'm trying to do to overcome my anxiety. The way you word things are powerful. because your unconscious mind, what it's doing is it's always learning. It's every second of your life, even while you're sleeping, it's taking in information, right? And what you need to do is go, holy shit, if I just start to recognize how I'm speaking to someone, you know, oh, I tried that, or I'm trying this new thing. Trying is a recipe for failure. It truly is. But if you start to reword it and go, I'm doing this thing, I'm partaking in this new method, I'm whatever it may be, replacing the word trying with doing, guys, is going to go a long way towards your recovery from hopeless thinking and depression. So stop trying, start doing. And if you guys are interested, head over to anxietyexit.com, start working with me one-on-one. And remember, guys, that you are more than anxiety. You are more than what your identity is in this moment. Your true identity cannot shine until you start to take control of your mind, when you start to take control of your beliefs. And that is the process that the Anxiety Guy YouTube channel and the Anxiety Guy podcast is trying to put into place. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. You're more than anxiety, and have a wonderful day.